Hello and welcome to tonight's preview for the final round of the GTSport Club 100 Championship. A championship that's gone on for a couple more weeks than expected due to connection issues, but has certainly provided us with some great action over the past month and a half, really. We have two races tonight, even though we only have one left in the actual series. Tonight's race for the cars is Dragon Trail Seaside. It is a race which we were meant to be doing at week one, I believe it was, which we were meant to be racing here, but with the connection issues for two of the drivers, we ended up delaying it and running a non-championship event at first. But now we are back at the fictional circuit based on a Croatian seaside town, and it's certainly a circuit which the drivers enjoy, with its undulations, fast corners, and also one brilliant chicane at the end of a lap, which really does sort the men from the boys. If you can get it right, you'll gain a lot of time. If you get it wrong, you will be in the wall and possibly out of the race. So it'll be great to see what happens in this race. Now, first of all, we will look at the championship standings, because that is why we're all here, to see who will be crowned the champion of this series. I will just bring them up for myself now. Thank you to Peter Harris for keeping us updated with the championship standings throughout the season. But we'll start with the Drivers' Championship, and while it's not sealed up, Ryan Sandell has a very good chance of sealing his title. He currently has a 13-point lead over Nathan Maximin, who the two have run stupidly close all season. They're shared out the wins majority, especially of sprint races, the first races of the day where there's no pit stops. Those two have pretty much dominated the series, with them taking first and second in every single one, to be fair. I believe round two, week two, might have been the closest that anybody else got to them in those races, but when there's no tyre wear to worry about and it's just foot to the floor, these two have been the quickest drivers there is. But a couple of, shall we say, dodgy feature race results for Nathan, where he's had to come through on a reverse grid, has meant that he sits 13 points behind Ryan, and both of them will be starting on the back row tonight at Seaside. Ryan only has to follow Nathan through, but as we know in motorsport, anything can happen. In third place, we also have our final championship contender, Trevor Randall. He sits 19 points off the lead and could spring a surprise, but the only problem for Trevor is there is only 21 points available in a race maximum. So catching Nathan may be possible. He's only 6 points ahead, but catching Ryan, he would have to probably hope for a disconnection from Ryan or something similar, or maybe a retirement, or Ryan throws his toys out of the pram, which I can't see him doing. So there'd have to be incidents, let's put it that way. In fourth place we have Tim Clark. Now Tim's season's been let down by his sprint races, I think. He has been very strong on tyre management, won 2 out of the 3 feature races so far. We've obviously got the 4th one tonight, and he's just been like clockwork with the tyre wear and managed to take the tyres beyond what most of the other drivers have done. In 5th is Tim's teammate Callum Brewell. Callum, complete opposite to Tim actually. He's managed to keep up with Tim during the sprint races, but as we've gone on to the feature races, tyre wear has been his nemesis, and it's meant that Callum has fallen back and now sits on 78 8 points, equal with Kirif Kalirai, the top of the Team Black drivers. Kirif has had an up and down season, some very strong performances, and then we look back at Austria where he did he finish dead last, or didn't quite finish dead last, but him and his teammate Andrew Maffer finished 13th and 14th, not what the team were looking for. So Kirif will be looking to end the season on a high and maybe steal that 5th place in the championship off Callum. A further 12 points back on 66 points, we have Martin Robinson, who leads his teammate Sam Dimolo by 3 points. Now, Martin, not known to us hugely in Club 100, he's not a name which we initially knew before this season. I believe it's his first season in Club 100, whereas Sam Dimolo we know is a test driver. So for Martin to be ahead of Sam is pretty impressive, even though the two did collide in the opening race of the season. I believe Sam took the blame for that one. In 9th place and in this fight for 7th in the championship is Andrew Maffer. Andrew's had a tough season so far, but came on really strongly to claim his first podium last time out and led the race for most of the time at Suzuka, just with Ryan getting past, held second and then lost out to Trevor Randall near the end of the race. But a very strong drive by Andrew, and he'll be looking for similar here at Seaside. Jay Elliott sits in 10th. He's also in the battle for 7th if he can get himself a strong result. Changed from the Dodge Viper to the Audi TT last time out, and I believe we'll be sticking with the TT for this race. Jay's teammate Jack Cameron Drayton is in 11th. Similar to Jay, struggled with the Dodge Viper, but Jack has decided to stick with it to end the season, so fair play to him. 12th is Eric Mignon, just 1 point ahead of Peter Harris. Now these two are the last of the full-time drivers, so it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top between them. Peter, very strong first half of the feature races, but has struggled later on to complete that full race near the front and has dropped back later on, normally around pit stop stage. So whether his in lap and out lap isn't quite quick enough, who knows. But we'll find out tonight whether Peter can solve that issue and push forward on the grid. 14th is Freddie Gallagher. Unfortunately, Freddie can't join us tonight. He is having issues with his PlayStation and his HDMI connection, so hopefully Freddie will get that sorted for next season. But he was replaced by Rory Seven for one event as well early in the year, so that's why Freddie's quite far down on the grid. Rory also not joining us tonight. He's only done one round this year, but will look probably to return next season if we actually get round to another season. 2 new entries tonight. We have one name which we all have heard of in Club 100 and one who is a newbie to Club 100. The first one is the newbie. That is, if I can find, Josh Williams, who has raced at Club 73 level. I've raced there before with Clinton Bell, and a great little championship that. And he also achieved a 3rd place in the B final at Buckmore Park back in August. So he's a bit of a rookie to Club 100, but certainly looking forward to him entering this event. He joins Team Purple, which could be all important in the team championship, which I'll get to after. The other driver who will be joining us in a lone entry tonight for this race is Justin Buck. Now we've all known Justin. He's raced in Clubman's. I believe he's raced in Elite Endurances. You know, if you've raced in Club 100, you probably know the name Justin Buck, and you probably know the helmet. The really clean livery and a very strong driver, so we'll have to see how that goes. Just quickly to the team championship, we have a closer battle in that with Team White, which is Callum and Tim, 8 points clear of Team Pink, which is Ryan Sandell, our championship leader, and Peter Harris. So Peter, in that battle with Eric, will be hoping to push forward with the team championship as well. 17 points back, so still in the fight, is Team Purple, which Josh Williams will be joining Nathan Maximin in this. No, it's not Nathan, sorry. Trevor Randall in that team today. Dropping my controller there. So they will be looking for a good result from Josh to supplement Trevor's strong form and hopefully push forward in the championship. But 3 points behind them, in fourth place, is Team Blue, which is Nathan Maximin and Eric Mignon. So even though these teammates are spread, they do have their own battles in the championship to think about. So this team championship could be an important thing to happen during the races, and maybe some team tactics when they pit and maybe come out in front of each other. Team Black are in 5th, that's Keith Callery and Andrew Maffa. Team Yellow is in 6th, that's Sam Dimlow and Martin Robinson. And Team Green, Jay Elliott and Jack Cameron Drayton are sitting in 7th. We've had 3 drivers get fastest laps in races this year. Ryan Sandell with 3, Nathan Maximin with 2, and Trevor Randall with 2. So nicely spread out between the top 3 in the championship. Now, as well as that event, as you can see on the screen, we have a go-kart. Now, we wouldn't be Club 100 without having a go-kart race, and that is the kart we will be using in our O-Plate event, which will be taking place after the feature race tonight. This will be a no-holds-barred O-Plate event where the winner will have their own design put on one of these karts. I believe they will also have a lot of bragging rights in the paddock next season. These karts are very skittish on the game, but one thing we do know is all the drivers do not know the circuit we are going to be racing these rounds. They've had ideas. I think Jay Elliott suggested the Nordschleife, which could be quite interesting, but I'm not even sure we'd get round a lap of that without everybody rage quitting. So, as they always want to know, you want to know what circuit you'll be driving, and I've saved it till now because you won't have that much time to jump on and do any laps. But the circuit you will be driving in the O-Plate is Miami. Now, this circuit was picked on purpose to keep racing close. It's a very fast circuit. Only one really major braking area, so it's going to be very tough with the slipstream to pull away as long as everybody can keep the kart under control, which isn't the easiest on this game. But there you go. The O-Plate, which will be 3 heats and a final, just as Club 100 run their events. We have grids randomised so everybody gets front, middle and back as well. Will be round Kyoto Driving Park, Miami, and that will be, and the whole stream will be starting about 9 o'clock on this YouTube channel, and I hope to see you there. But for now, I'm going to go make a coffee, and I will see you in about 10 minutes time for the action.